Latest news: the atmosphere behind the scenes is one of anticipation for the draft and the upcoming season, with lots of speculation and some changes. The week starts with big updates for the Detroit Lions. I'll tell you everything that's happening, but first I want to know your opinion. If you believe that Jared Goff should stay with the Detroit Lions for 2025, click the like button. If possible, write something like this: Go Lions! Go Goff! I still have the dream of winning the Super Bowl with him, but anyway, we'll talk more about him later. The Lions have some serious decisions to make about their secondary for the 2025 season. Carlton Davis, our top cornerback, is heading into free agency, and his future with the team is still up in the air. Alongside Davis, Kindle Vildor is also set to hit free agency, leaving us with a young but relatively inexperienced depth chart. Players like Amick Robertson, Terrion Arnold, and Ennis Rakestraw have shown promise, but there's still room for a veteran playmaker in the mix. That's where Paulson Adebo comes into the conversation. Drafted in the third round back in 2021 out of Stanford, Adebo has developed into a real playmaker during his time with the New Orleans Saints. In his 4 seasons, he's snagged 10 interceptions and proven himself as a reliable ball hawk. Last season, before a devastating injury, a broken femur in Week 7 against Denver, he was having a strong campaign with 52 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 10 passes defensed in just 7 games. According to Pro Football Focus, he allowed completions on just 34 of 57 passes thrown his way, holding quarterbacks to an impressive NFL passer rating of 67.0. That's elite-level production. He's a corner who thrives at the line of scrimmage, disrupts routes, and finds ways to get his hands on the ball, exactly the kind of aggressive defender that fits the Lions' defensive scheme. Now, let's be real. If the Lions decide to pay Carlton Davis, Adebo might not even be on the table due to budget constraints. Davis's projected free agency value is around $13.8 million per year, while Adebo is currently valued at $11.1 million per year. If Detroit decides to move on from Davis, Adebo becomes a strong candidate to fill that veteran cornerback role. Adding Adebo to the roster would bring some much-needed consistency to a secondary that has struggled in the past to maintain top-tier play. His ability to take the ball away and create game-changing plays makes him a compelling option for the Lions front office to consider. Plus, his familiarity with press coverage would seamlessly fit into Kelvin Shepherd's defensive strategy, ensuring continuity as the Lions aim to build a championship-caliber defense. So Lions fans, what do you think? Would you like to see Paulson Adebo in the Honolulu Blue and Silver next season? Should we prioritize keeping Carlton Davis, or is it time to shake things up in the secondary? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There's talk of a massive trade idea floating around that could completely transform the Lions' defense. NFL analyst Gary Davenport from Bleacher Report has suggested a scenario that would bring Cincinnati Bengals superstar edge rusher Trey Hendrickson to Detroit. In this proposal, the Lions would send a 2025 second-round pick and a 2026 third-round pick to the Bengals in exchange for Hendrickson. Let's break it down. The Lions are in a pretty solid place when it comes to their roster, but one position that could use a serious upgrade is the edge rusher group. We already have Aiden Hutchinson, who was on track for a Defensive Player of the Year type season before his injury last year. Thankfully, Hutchinson is expected to make a full recovery for the 2025 season. But behind Hutchinson, things are a little uncertain. Za'Darius Smith is turning 33 this year, and his return isn't guaranteed. Even if he comes back, Smith will be a free agent next year, which means the Lions need a long-term solution opposite Hutchinson and more depth overall. That's where Trey Hendrickson comes in. This guy is an absolute game-changer. He's coming off a season where he led the entire NFL in sacks. Pairing Hendrickson with Hutchinson would give Detroit one of the most dangerous pass-rushing duos in the league. Imagine the chaos they could cause for opposing quarterbacks. The Lions also have the cap space to make this move work. With $46.5 million available heading into the offseason, extending Hendrickson's contract wouldn't be an issue. It's the kind of aggressive move that championship-contending teams make, and let's face it, the time is now for the Lions to push for that Super Bowl. But here's the twist: will the Bengals even consider trading Hendrickson? Their director of player personnel, Duke Tobin, has made it clear they want to keep him. He's acknowledged that Hendrickson has earned a pay raise, but the Bengals aren't sure they can afford a top-of-the-market deal. This disagreement could lead to Hendrickson demanding a trade, something he reportedly considered last year. If the Bengals reach that point, Brad Holmes needs to be ready to hit send on this deal immediately. Davenport's trade proposal may or may not be enough to sway the Bengals, but it's exactly the kind of move the Lions should be making if they want to go all the way. So Lions fans, what do you think? Should Detroit go all in and make a move for Trey Hendrickson? Is he the missing piece that could elevate the defense to a championship level? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. First up, how about a round of applause for our quarterback, Jared Goff? After kicking off the Pro Bowl games weekend with a bang, Goff capped it off in style by earning offensive MVP honors during the NFC's 56-50 win over the AFC in the Flag Football Showdown. Goff was as sharp as ever, completing 10 of 11 passes for 126 yards and 3 touchdowns. Talk about efficiency! That's why he's now a 4-time Pro Bowler and one of the leaders of this Lions team. It wasn't just about the flag football game, though. Goff shined throughout the weekend, starting with his win in the passing the test accuracy competition, beating out none other than Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold. That's the kind of stuff we love to see, Lions players showing out and proving why Detroit is on the rise. And it didn't stop there. On Friday, Goff and his wife, Kristen, made headlines off the field too. They were announced as part of an investment group led by Detroit Pistons owner Tom Gores, aiming to bring a WNBA franchise back to Detroit. Can you imagine? That's the kind of community involvement that makes us proud to have Goff representing this city. Now let's shift gears to another big topic for the Lions, contract decisions. One of the more intriguing ones involves defensive tackle Levi Onwuzurike. Drafted in the second round back in 2021, Levi's journey with the team has been a roller coaster. He had a promising rookie season but dealt with a back injury that kept him sidelined for all of 2023. Thankfully, he bounced back and had a strong 2024 campaign, starting 10 of 16 games and becoming a key part of the defense, especially with injuries to guys like Alim McNeill and Aiden Hutchinson. Here's the thing, Levi led the team in quarterback pressures last season with 47, proving he can be a force on the interior. That's not something you let go easily. But with his rookie deal coming to an end, the Lions have a big decision to make. Do they lock him in with a contract extension, or do they let him test free agency? Defensive tackle salaries have skyrocketed recently. Just look at Chris Jones with the Chiefs, making $31.8 million per year. McNeill already secured a big payday with the Lions, ranking as the 4th highest paid player at his position with $24.25 million per year. Onwuzurike doesn't have the same track record as McNeill, so he won't command that kind of money. But given the premium on pass-rushing interior linemen, he could still fetch a deal worth around $15 million per year. That's a serious investment, but it might be worth it if Levi continues to develop and stay healthy. The Lions have already shown faith in him by sticking with him through the tough times. With new defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard at the helm, there's reason to believe Onwuzurike's best football is still ahead of him. So, what do you think, Lions fans? Should the Lions lock in Levi Onwuzurike with a long-term deal, or is it too risky given his injury history? And how about Jared Goff? Does this Pro Bowl MVP performance just solidify his place as one of the league's top quarterbacks? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing from you. Before you go, don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed the content and subscribe to the channel for more updates. Go Lions!